morning to everybody. I just got the message we're recording. I'm Carol Dalbon. I'm licensed prayer practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Tahoe-Truckee. Here, wherever we are, I should say. Reverend Pam Bramman and Michael are taking the day off to enjoy the symphony and to celebrate Valentine's Day. So I'll be presiding. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we welcome you. We know there are many paths to God, and we recognize that all these paths end in oneness and love. We are grateful for each of you spending time with us this morning. Our center's purpose is love. Our vision is embracing all and serving with love while awakening to the one. And then together we read the receptivity statement, which is on your screen. I am here by divine appointment. Something I'm about to hear applies to my life. I am open, receptive, and willing to explore the possibilities. And today for our musicians, we have Love Eternal, Jahred and Shawna, namaste. And of course, the Love Eternal brings us right to our theme today. And so they were really happy to have that theme as the topic, fill our hearts with love and wonder. And they are both practitioners, and they know the healing power of love in the world. And they say they can't wait to visit us in person. And I believe we've never seen them in person here either. So we are anxious to have that happen soon. So please help me welcome them. They will be singing Love Heals All.
The choruses, you can sing along with us. When we say, what have we learned? You say, love heals all. So what have you learned?
Love heals all.
Thanks for having us.
I feel the joy returning to my life. And I know, yes, I know that everything's gonna be just fine. If I can just put my faith in you. It's what I'm gonna do. It's what I'm gonna do. And I feel a renewed sense of passion in my life. And I know, yes, I know that everything is gonna be just fine. If I can just put one foot in front of the next. And say yes. And say yes. Tell me what have we learned? That love heals all. Say what have we learned? That love heals all. So let us be more loving, and let I walk with compassion, and let I be more trusting, and let I be more humble, yeah. May I always rise to the occasion with forgiveness for myself and for this world that surely needs it. Tell me what have we learned? Love heals all. Say what have we learned? Love heals all. Come on now, what have we learned? Love heals all. So what have we learned? Love heals all. As we stood at the walls of opposition with our fists clenched, and we stared each other down, wondering which one of us was gonna turn first. But then the love comes through like the grass tearing up the concrete streets. And now those walls they crumble down, lay as dust below our feet, which we used to build a temple. And we christened it with a song. If I've learned anything at all through this, it's that love heals all. Say what have we learned? Love heals all. Say what have we learned? Love heals all. Come on, tell me now, what have we learned? Love heals all. love heals all. And we love you. And we'll be back soon.
So that was the perfect song. Today, I'd like to introduce our practitioner of the day, Nancy O'Neill. She is joining us from Arizona, which is this winter's home, with her extended family and friends from all over. And as Pam says, they're taking a pause to have some family time and fun. And Nancy is getting into it, riding her bike, hiking, very active. Just got back from a week-long trip, or maybe a little bit longer than a week. So please help me welcome Nancy O'Neill to provide our special reading and invocation today.
Thank you, Carol. Hi, everyone. So today follows this month's theme, Living Everyday Wonder, the Inner Life. And today's talk is entitled, Fill Our Hearts with Love and Wonder. And the reading today comes from the Science Mind textbook. And if you'd like to follow along or go back, it's on page 478. So from Dr. Holmes, love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. It is written that God is love, and that we are his express likeness, the image of the eternal being. Love is self-givingness through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human. Love is an essence, an atmosphere, which defies analysis, as does life itself. It is that which is and cannot be explained. It is common to all people, to all animal life, and evident in the response of plants to those who love them. Love reigns supreme over all. The essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotions, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Only love knows love, and love knows only love. Words cannot express the depth or meaning. A universal sense alone bears witness to the divine fact. God is love, and love is God. So if you'll just join me this morning for an opening prayer. Just close your eyes, take a breath. Just get centered in front of your computer and in the space in your home. And take a time out, really. This time to connect to spirit, to connect with that love, which is God, because we know that God is love. And so if God is love, so are we. We are that essence. We are that spirit. We are that love. And so in knowing that, we take time this morning to join together in love, to join together with each other of like mind, knowing that all is good in this love of God, and putting our trust and our faith in that love. And so as our talk, as Barb's talk comes along today, we love dogs too. And with Valentine's Day just coming up, a time to celebrate love. And that's what we're doing today. We are just celebrating the love that we have for each other, for our center, for our world. And as we celebrate that, it goes out into the world for its perfect manifestation of love. And I'll add peace too. And so in knowing that, I just allow this word to move out into that presence, that universal presence out there, which is always saying yes. And so if you'll just join me in letting this prayer go at this moment as we say together, and so it is. And so we get to hear Shawna Namaste one more time with a song. And the song is called Deep With My Heart.
Love again. We're going to sing this chant for you called Deep Within. And we learned it at Rainbow Gathering, so we can't tell you who wrote it. But you'll know why we
Within my heart, everlasting love shining bright as the sun, gonna shine on everyone. And the more that we give is the more we have to give. It's the way that we live, and it's what we're living for. Yeah, what we're living for. Deep within my heart, got this everlasting love shining bright as the sun, gonna shine on everyone. And the more that we give is the more we have to give. It's the way that we live, and it's what we're living for. Yeah, what we're living for. Deep within my heart, got this everlasting love shining bright as the sun, gonna shine on everyone. The more that we give is the more we have to give. It's the way that we live, and it's what we're living for. Yeah, what we're living for. It's what we're living for. Yeah, what we're living for. Love you guys. Come visit us online, loveeternal.org, or at Love Eternal Music on Facebook and such. And
hope to see you someday.
hope to see you in person someday for sure.
Send you lots of love.
See you again soon.
That was a great song. I love that. So today, as I mentioned earlier, we have a guest speaker. And you've seen her before, as a matter of fact, fairly recently, Rev Barb Walley. And Rev Barb studied to become a practitioner with Reverend Dr. Peggy Bassett in Huntington Beach. As she moved into her ministerial training, she studied with Frank and Anita Richelieu at the Redondo Beach Church of Religious Science. Once licensed as a CSL minister, Reverend Barb soon moved to Toledo, Ohio, where she had her own Center for Spiritual Living for 15 years, senior minister there. After leaving Ohio, she returned to California. And she's been quite involved with the center, the Expanding Light Center, where we go for our retreats, and lives close by. She serves as a spiritual life coach to guide people through their journey of spiritual growth and transformation. It is my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, who, by the way, always loves to come to be with us. She tells me this all the time, and as we are always glad to see her, and we were able to see her at the retreat, I might add. So please help me welcome Reverend Barb Walley.
Well, it is a joy to see you all, and what a treat it is for me, because I feel like you are family. I know you are family. The alignment is so sweet, and I'm grateful to be here with you today. The topic, as well, you know, is about Valentine's Day, and may our hearts be filled with the intention of happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And that's both human and dogs, because I'm a dog lover too. So that doesn't bother me if we hear them. It's a wonderful thing. So fill our hearts with love and wonder is my topic. And Master Paramahansa Yogananda said, have only love in your hearts for others. The more you see the good in them, the more you will establish good in yourself, and hold the consciousness of good and let that break any habits that you have of putting yourself or anyone else down. because that is what we usually do. It's a self-talk. And so we're pulling those unconscious weeds out of our consciousness today and always. Just as soon as you catch yourself, just cut it off. You don't need it. It just grows roots and you don't need that for yourself. So our monthly theme is I am one with spirit, and spirit is all that we are. And that is our truth. We are all only spirit. And today we're talking about the awareness of, not only is it Valentine's Day, but it's time to observe oneself and who we really are, how we're showing up from so we can dissolve any emotional behaviors or compulsive behaviors. And we're replacing those automatic behaviors with spiritual substance and being aware that thoughts are conscious or unconscious, and we want to move beyond them with a heavier or a more pertinent reasoned thoughts. So we have to catch ourselves. And so we're going to go into the idea of what is our essential being. Our bodies and our minds, we are divine beings, and we have to work on our consciousness because we tend to get triggered by old habits. And so this talk really is about what is hanging on my energy field? What is the vehicle that I tend to automatically take when it's time to transform something and it comes up automatically, and we're going to give that over to God. And there's no time lag. Immediately, if you catch it, give it to God, because this is a time of transformation, or we wouldn't be experiencing so many issues in our world right now. In the way of mastery, it tells us to turn within. And as we turn within, it helps us recognize the patterns that we keep running into. And that turning within could be a behavior or a pattern or a practice, a spiritual practice that you work with all the time. So you don't have to find anything new. You can just go within and ask God, help me see what I have hidden in my behavior, in my attitudes, in my relationships, and help me pull out those things in ourselves that we've been avoiding, because they will get triggered and it will take us off the path. We want to be self-aware, and those messages are awakening in ourselves more prominently than they ever have before, because things are happening in the world that push all of our buttons, and we all know what they are for us deeply, and they are hiding the truths that set us free. And so we're becoming more and more conscious of those things. And the good news is that we are becoming more conscious. The challenging news is that bugs us more. And so we have to take a deep breath every time we catch it. And we just go, and even if we don't catch it, we just say, okay, God, okay, Holy Spirit, whatever you address spirit as, Father, Mother, God, whatever it is. I often call it Master because I'm a Paramahansa Yogananda student, a devotee, and I call Christ my guide and my Lord, or whatever you call spirit. It's the one mind. There's many names for the same thing. So I've never ceased working on being a more appropriate servant of God. And I have never ceased in working on the same thing that Jeshua said, that we are working in a world, and I've come to any heart that opens the door to Christ consciousness. So this is something from Jeshua. I will come in any manner that is necessary to you to bring light. as a soft and gentle voice, as a simple feeling of certainty, as a feeling of gratitude. I will come into your dreams and I will come into your wakefulness. I will come to the degree that you are willing to open your heart, open your willingness, open your consciousness, so that God can take up his or her abode within your heart, not to be your savior, but to be your brother or sister, your friend, so that you can come to where Jeshua went when he was becoming more self-realized. And that is a very important awareness. In that way, we're traveling the same path. We're saying, you know, be the cause of my spiritual journey so that I can stay in alignment with you, that I'm willing to travel this path. We're not going to go through some of the same things that he went through because he already paid that price. That's already been done. We don't have to go through that kind of trauma, but we are going to go through the thoughts that are things in our own lives. And we do that because we attract our thoughts. Whatever we think, we bring about. And that's how we truly gain mastery over ourselves. And these principles are invisible, but they give us little nudges, we call in my culture growing up, Jewish. You know, if something nudges you, it's poking at you, trying to get your attention. So we see the effects everywhere of our stinking thinking. And we are entering into a greater universal consciousness that many spiritual masters along the way, Paramahansa Yogananda was certainly one. He said, we're entering into a new age. And we've been in that age for well over 150 years, according to the teachings at Ananda. And we're trying to awaken up to the principle, because the principle is the first cause and the result is the effect. So we're all experiencing the effect of what we've been believing. We are all experiencing the reactions on a world level of what we've been fearing. And so as we keep taking on the principles, that we know that what we give is what we get. We get what we give and we attract what we are. So if I'm being stubborn, then guess who's showing up stubborn in my life? A lot of people, probably, because it mirrors us. If I'm being compassionate, then I see more compassion in my own life. If I am being generous in loving to others, that it's showing up in my life. If someone's showing up in my life that's showing me things I don't like, then that too is going on. So as we keep working on the principles of the science of mind, and we practice what we know is the spiritual truth, more of that is coming out into our world. And that's why I love this community, because this community with the leadership of Reverend Pam is really going into the substance of this, and we're practicing it together. And it's wonderful. I love that, because I missed my church. I had a church and great group for 15 years. And you guys are my church now. And I love that because I get the benefit of both the teachings that I love, both the science of mind and the wonderful souls that are attracted to it, and Ananda. You know, I kind of overload myself because that is what my purpose is. I practice that as much as I possibly can. And you guys all have permission to call me on something if I'm not being a good girl, because we're all human. And I'm not afraid to face that, because I put it on the forefront, because I don't want to carry any of this other stuff with me. And so some of the discussion points that we could talk about later, if you want to, is conscious thought or subconscious beliefs are the essential mental causes of our feelings and our emotions. We are all the co-creators of our life, or the conditions of our life. So what conscious thoughts are you feeding your mind with, or your attitudes with, or your beliefs with, that you haven't owned lately, or maybe you'd like to just sweep it away? We all have those, and they're coming up, like I said, because the power of God operates through the energy of our thoughts and whatever they produce. So that's the mirror of divine consciousness. And you have a wonderful opportunity to help create a world that works for everyone, and use the power of God to energize your thoughts with what you want and not what you're trying to get rid of. And don't try, do it. And you get to do it by practicing the presence. You get to do it by using treatment, spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer. You get to do it by meditating. You get to do it by talking things out with your good friends. Be as safely transparent as you can with a couple of people, at least, so you know that you're not hiding your fear of what you think you are, who you think you've been carrying with you all your life because someone said something when you were a child and you still believe it at some unconscious level. We're sweeping that out of our consciousness, and we're holding the ray of divine light, because the power for good is in this universe and we're using it. We want to use it every day to consciously accept God and I are one. We are one in this beautiful world, and we're going to take care of our planet, and we're going to lift ourselves beyond the lethargy and the ignorance of a time that's overdue to pass. We can do it. We will do it together. And I know every one of you enough to know that you're radiant lights, and what a blessing you are on the planet. We all made a commitment to show up at this time. It is not an accident. And we are going to let the light that we are, and let it show, because our minds are film cameras and our thoughts are recorded and we see them projected on the movie of our life. So I want you to think about this later, and go into it and just say, what are the repetitive patterns in your life? What are their competitive patterns or repetitive dramas that are in your life, and you keep dealing with the same things? Look at that later. Observe yourself and analyze your interior dialogue. When you want to change something in your life, you have to focus on what you want. Don't keep struggling with what you don't want. What I've noticed in counseling many, many times, we hold on to the things we don't want, and that's not helping ourselves in any way. So I don't know if any of you ever feel agitated. Maybe I'm the only one who gets agitated around here once in a while. Is there anybody else here that gets agitated sometimes? Okay, well, all right. Well, good. We've got people that tell the truth here. Okay. When we feel agitated with inner tension and irritation and disharmony, we are generating, get this, that unconsciously we're generating negative thoughts. And these mental impurities are like really who has gardens around there, flowers that grow? Have you ever go to pull a weed and it won't come out? It's frustrating, and you have to dig at it. Well, the spiritual substance, that the mental bad habits that we've been holding on to, they take a particular amount of effort to pull those attitudes out and replace them with spiritual goals and spiritual priorities. And without this effort, if you know that you've got something that's really repetitive, you're going to keep re-seeing it and showing up in different relationships. And you go, boy, this has happened with this other person or this other guy or this other friend. Why do I have that? Because we need to understand that today is the result of what we believed yesterday. Today is the result of what we will have tomorrow if we do not shift our gears. And so there's a melody that we've been playing that we might want to change. There, we've been singing a song that is not bringing us the energy we want. So ask yourself later and just listen to what you say and listen to what you repeat and what you believe, because what you believe is what you get. And so we want to keep sweeping that out, because feelings can be pleasant or feelings can be painful or emotional or negative. They all are possible, and whatever our habits are, we will see those consequences. So work on the first cause. Those are the habits that keep repeating, and the effect will change. I promise you, the effect will change. I've watched it happen in my own life. Am I perfect yet? I'm sorry, I'm not. I know that that would shock you all. So life doesn't just happen to us, it happens through us, and we shape our life, causing everything within our conscious thoughts and subconscious beliefs. We keep changing that. And we're evolving. And I know you guys are more spiritually mature because I've got to know some of you, but some better than others. But I want to change and evolve and observe my emotional attachments so that I am not carrying them anymore. So when we understand that law, we will never again make someone else to be the consequence of our thinking. We will turn to ourselves. Okay, well, I've projected this onto this person, or maybe they are showing up that way, but why am I attracting that? If it's a friendship that's not reciprocal, or if it's a love relationship that only one of the individuals is getting their needs met. If do you have healthy communication with your loved ones, especially your partner, spiritual partner? Because if we're going to live in harmony, we have to understand when our loved ones need our attention, we can give it to them, but maybe it's not immediate. Maybe it's something we have to postpone and say, okay, how about tonight, before or after dinner, whatever works best for me. Before dinner is better for me because my tummy gets in the way of my thinking if I eat too much. So if I'm filling my desire, then I may have to wait because my brain doesn't work if my tummy's full. So in case you ever catch that and I seem really stupid, you might know that what's happening is my digestion is, it needs all my attention. So we have to understand ourselves, and we have to understand our friends and understand what we're dealing with, what we're growing through, because that is how our goals, our self-esteem is connected to our relationship with God. And if it's not operating the way we think it should, we have to realize the truth. And without realizing it, we fall into our human dramas. So what we really want to get is that, how am I operating? Because if we don't know ourselves, someone's going to tell you something and you're going to feel defensive about it because you don't really recognize it fully about yourself. Well, maybe you won't, but I've caught myself getting defensive about something that I don't like. And we have to come into life for the material and intellectual purposes, but the spiritual journey is ours to to create and to play a part of. So I want to call you all to action. I want to call you to the observation of how you're communicating and what your attitudes are and your actions and what are the fruits of your consciousness. Be gentle with yourselves. This is not a way to punish yourself. We want to know that we're operating to the best of our ability to be in attunement with the image and likeness of God, to the best of our ability at this time. So to think that God punishes us is like thinking that light produces darkness. It doesn't. God doesn't punish us. We punish ourselves. And as we realize, so what kind of love we want, what kinds of, relationships do we want? Do we want to, you want just, not to be, do you want just an intimate relationship with someone, but you really don't want a personal relationship with someone? Do you want a full, healthy relationship with someone and yourself so that you can have a healthy relationship with not just yourself, but others? And that is really, really important for you to know that about yourself, because I've gotten in relationships or renewed old relationships that were we didn't have a similar perspective on things. So oneness with God is the greatest and most important revelation that you can ever have. And it is the unconscious programming that's engraved in our thinking. And so what you seek, love and happiness, are always, always within you. And what they are already and what they really are already within you. It's awakening to our sufficiency and that we can liberate us and the resolution of everything else within us. God is the principle of life and his law is love. As well we know, as we're celebrating Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, we realize that just be in the joy. God as love is our cause, and it's showing us the way. And God as law makes this way possible. And in this connection of unity, everything in our world can reflect divine love, because we are, in the science of mind, we do know that we live in a reciprocal universe, and its invisible counterpart of every visible form. We can get what we give, if not now, then tomorrow. And we attract what we are, because the science of mind from beyond limits suggests that. I think it's a truth. Dr. Holmes tells us that our hidden beliefs and deeply held convictions inevitably reflect our experience in our environment. That's also from beyond limits. So in the science of mind, we try to uncover our hidden beliefs. And most of us are very, I don't know, we're kind of stubborn. At least I should talk about myself. I can be stubborn about really deep hidden beliefs once in a while, because even though I do work on it, I do notice that sometimes I don't like to look at the things that are obvious to me sometimes, or if they come up again and I thought I had finished dealing with it. That science of mind is designed to uncover our beliefs, and we can consciously choose to change these beliefs and activate a new day in our life and a new day in our relationships. So just know God is right where we are. And we are going to bring these wonderful things, these wonderful ideas. But we have to ask, we have to seek, and we have to knock. That is an essential. Now, mind you, that's my favorite biblical quote, but it is really a formula. You have to ask for partnership with God. You have to seek, you have to inquire about it. You have to ask, help me see what I'm blind to, Lord. I would like to see and understand this so that I could move past it. And you want to knock also. And that's knocking on the relationships that are bothering you and try to find out what the truth is. And if they're willing, they'll tell you. If they're not willing, you have to just accept it. And I'm dealing with something like that right now. It's hard to get this person to tell me what's going on. And so he's just hiding. And I'm not comfortable with that. And so probably whatever it is, it's going to die out, because I pretty much insist on healthy communication in all my relationships. So as it shall be given you, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened to you. And for everyone that asks and receives, he will receive and the doors shall be opened. You may have to knock more than once, but I promise you, Spirit will help you. And I want to share that in closing. There's 2 Zen monks, and these 2 Zen monks are about to cross the river, and they met a young, very beautiful woman. And one of the monks, she was very afraid. She didn't want to step into the water. So one of the monks picked her up and took her across the lake. And the other monk was furious. And he said nothing for quite a long time. And then when they arrived at a monastery, he said to the other monk, "How could you do that? You picked up this woman and carried her across the river." Well, his response, "Well, I was only carrying her across the river. You've been carrying her for the last 2 hours." And so we need to look at that. Do we hold on to the things that are bothering us about other people, or do we talk to them heart to heart? Because you are filled with radiant love, and I honor you and bless you. May you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I love you all. Namaste.
Called The Garden from Love Eternal once again.
Good morning. The song's called Garden. I believe in the garden, pure and true. I believe in the children. I believe in you. I believe we shall rise up one day and create a world that works for all. I believe in this earth. I believe in the call. But most of all, I believe that love is gonna guide us home. So most of all, I believe that love is gonna guide us home. For it is not I, but the Heavenly Father who works through I. Grand and glorious, not I, but the Divine Mother whose love has made us victorious on this day and every day. And always victorious on this day and every day. And always victorious, 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 victorious in this day and every day. Victorious, 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 victorious. I believe in a garden, pure and true. I believe in the children. I believe we shall rise up this day and create a world that works for all. I believe in this earth. I I believe in the call, but most of all, I believe in love. Love is gonna guide us home. Send more stars fall. I believe that love is gonna guide us home. Love is gonna guide us home. Love is gonna guide us home. Love is gonna guide us home.
Thank you, Love Eternal. That was great. I wish they were here to receive our applause. Now is the time for prosperity. We know that God is our infinite source for our center and for each of us as individuals. And there's several ways we can donate, being we don't have the basket here with us. We're each in a different place, different location. You can donate by mailing in a check, setting up a regular donation through your bank as a bill pay, or clicking on the Give Today button on our website or newsletter. It's up to you. And this is our prosperity affirmation. I gratefully and joyfully share my offering, which flows from God, my infinite source. My gift blesses this center and all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities. All I share with life returns to me, blessed and multiplied. And now we're going to sing together, and I will mute myself. God is My Source by Karen Drecker.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need.
So we accept these offerings, however they come to the Center for Spiritually Living, in deep gratitude. We accept these offerings received as support of our center and our mission to be in unity. We allow the law of circulation to take place in our center, tithing what has been given here to come full circle back to us and our center and as individuals. Thank you, God, the source of all. And so it is. I want to welcome everybody who's here, especially those visiting us today for the first time. We want to welcome you and thank you for sharing your time with us. We would like to have information about you. If you would like to receive our newsletter, you can do this by calling the center, which will be open starting tomorrow. And you can sign up on the chat, which is online right now, or on our website. And so at this time, I'm going to ask Nancy O'Neill to let us know what's happening in our center.
Thank you, Carol. So we just have a few announcements to make, but first of all, I wanted to thank Barb for a great talk. Took a lot of notes, things to remember. Anyway, we're so pleased to have you today. While Michael and Pam are having a day off to go to the symphony. So right after the service today, just join us here on Zoom for hospitality. If you'd like to kind of check in with some of us, we'll be here for a few minutes. So the first thing, the announcement is that Reverend Pam is starting a new class, and the registration continues for our first 2022 class. It's a 5-week CSL certified class called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It's scheduled for Wednesday evenings from February 23rd to March 23rd from 6:30 to 9 on Zoom. Students can choose to attend on Zoom or in person, which would be pretty cool to be in person. Reverend Pam will be teaching this class, and it serves as a foundation level class for beginners or anyone who would like to revisit how to apply spiritual principles in their life. Each week we'll address a different area like creating healthy relationships, forgiveness, our relationship with money, and our physical health. The cost is $170, and you can call the office to reserve your space, or you can register on our website. Sounds like a great class, especially if you'd like to even go back, if you've taken many, many classes through the CSLs, to go back to one of the very beginning classes, which is always good to review the foundations. So you can find these announcements on Facebook and Zoom links in our constant contact email. Our Facebook page and our web page, which is www.tahoecsl.org. Our new administrator, Savannah App, is working on uploading the voice recordings of our Sunday service to our YouTube channel. There'll also be links from our website and Facebook page. So check out our updated website, like I said, www.tahoecsl.org. So next week, our next Sunday service will be February 20th on Zoom only. Reverend Pam will be back to continue the February's theme, Living Everyday Wonder, the Inner Life, and her talk entitled Forgive to Live. And Jim Eaglesmith, which we're so grateful for, will join us as a musician, and the practitioner will be Brenda Hildorn. So our ongoing classes are back in session with Zoom links, and that's all provided in our Constant Contact newsletter. So we have Chris Worcester's Tai Chi online class on Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. Mary McEnany and Penny Schuller's online Thursday meditation continues with energization exercises at 4:30 and meditation from 5 to 6. This is on every Thursday. This is an Ananda type of meditation. And Sue Pipel continues with a book study group on A Course of Love, which is on Friday evenings at 6:30 p.m. So we also, since we don't have children on Zoom, we take this time to welcome and bless children in our children's program and invite them in. So join me in our children's affirmation. We see you, we hear you, we love you. You are a gift from God. So that's it for the announcements.
Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. It'll be nice to have somebody in the office. And I found out today or yesterday that Savannah is a local gal who went to school here, and she's going to be a definite asset for our community. And in addition to the biggest asset, which are our prayer practitioners. They are professionally trained and licensed in the process of spiritual mind treatment, which is a healing affirmative prayer that we use. And we have 3 practitioners here. And then of course, Reverend Barb would be considered a practitioner. Nancy O'Neill, who is our practitioner of the day. Thank you, Nancy. And Brenda Heldorn and myself. And if you would like to have a short prayer after service, please put your phone number on the chat and one of these practitioners will give you a call. And then if you'd like a longer spiritual coaching session with a practitioner, their contact information is available through the office. You can also submit a prayer request on our website or by calling the office. So there's all kinds of ways for you to get in touch with one of us. So now we will be closing with our affirmation for the day. I am the co-creator of my life, which is perfect with what Reverend Barb was talking about to us, with us. And now we are going to be singing A Blessing to the World by Karen Drecker. And imagine ourselves in a circle in the room together.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
Thank you everyone for being here. And we're going to have our social time via Zoom right now, if you'd like to come on with us. And those of you who are new, would like to introduce yourselves, we'd love to see you in person.